Well, Sally's relatives are now looking to pursue a case of clinical negligence against the hospital, and representing them is Emma Holt from Pennoni. She joins me now. Welcome to Channel M Today.
Hello.
What are they hoping to achieve, Emma?
I was instructed by the family both in relation to the inquest and to investigate a case in clinical negligence which has begun. They're hoping to achieve first and foremost a change in practice at the hospital, improvements in the standard of care in relation to this procedure and in relation to the absence of any blood to ensure that it doesn't happen to anybody else.
I think the hospital have said that procedures regarding CVCs, or this method of puncturing the neck, have already changed, haven't they?
That is reported in the Manchester Evening News today, but that information was not available before the coroner.
So, as far as you're concerned, they haven't officially said to you that procedures have changed?
No.
And that's what you're looking to achieve?
It is, yes.
In so much as you have the procedures that you go through, and is it kind of legislation? How does it work? I mean, or are instructions given to a trust? What happens for those who are not familiar with it?
Well, the coroner here has invited a review of the procedures at the MRI and in conjunction with NICE in relation to the failure on the part of the trust to implement guidelines which go back to 2002. They're recommendations, they're not prescriptive. And Manchester Royal Infirmary, had they followed those recommendations, this would not have happened. They exist to prevent punctures like this, which cause
But the doctor involved did consult with colleagues before performing the procedure and had performed it 300 times previously.
He did indeed, and presumably very safely. But as the coroner...
Yes, presumably very safely, otherwise we'd have known about it, wouldn't we?
But one death is too many.
OK. Why has it taken so long? Because the death, tragic though it was 4 years ago, and now we're already beginning proceedings now. Yes,
proceedings began some time ago, and they've been stayed pending the outcome of the inquest. The inquest took some time because there were a number of witnesses, key doctors, whose availability needed to be secured.
And are you confident that you will achieve your objective? There are those who look at from the outside looking in who sometimes say the professions close ranks in situations like this and nothing is actually ultimately achieved.
I am confident. Medical negligence is established by way of other doctors saying that treatment fell below an acceptable standard. We already have that evidence in this case. And so I don't think there will be any closing ranks.
I'm just checking because, that's, when you look at it, when the police investigate themselves, doctors investigate themselves and so on and so forth, like-minded folks sometimes don't want to see one of their own prosecuted.
No, indeed.
So you're confident you'll get the outcome that you want. We've established why it's taken so long. I'm curious about the blood. Was there any on site? 2 hours it took to get, or well, not to get blood from where it should be to Emma. Have we established whether there was blood on site in the hospital at all? There surely was.
This is, I think, perhaps the most shocking feature of this case. 2 hours to get even cross-matched O-negative blood, which can be administered to anybody, albeit with some risk, but can be administered to anybody. We don't have an explanation as to why it didn't arrive, because it never did actually arrive, and that's very, very poor.
And again, one hopes that a procedure like that has changed, regardless of whether, medical negligence cases are pursued. You would hope, going into a hospital like the MRI, that if, my daughter was in a situation like that it doesn't happen again. Do procedures change before people like yourself get involved? Does a hospital look at its procedures and say, we need to sort these things out?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they instigate internal investigations. They're called serious untoward incidents or adverse incident investigations. And sometimes things change even before we become involved. But in a lot of cases, they change because we could become involved.
And how quickly before you get a conclusion and a satisfactory outcome?
I would hope soon, but we'll just have to see.
OK, well, we'll follow the case with interest. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.